Alright, today on Half Fixed Garage we got part two. We're getting the radiator and intercooler back in this LB7. So we'll show you the time lapse and some tips and tricks along the way. Let's get started. Alright, we got the radiator and the intercooler back in here. We got the hoses hooked up and the fan on. A couple things when you get to this point. If everything's not lining up for you, if you didn't get the radiator bolted to the intercooler, centered, you can just take a wrench. You don't have to take these out, just loosen them up, the two on each side, and the radiator will slide back and forth, the distance of this slot. So in case it's not lining up for you, scoot it around a little bit. And then once it's in here, make sure you clip these lower fan shroud right there. Make sure that gets clipped back into the radiator on both sides before you get too much further. Now that we got all this back in here, it's pretty easy from here. Once you get the fan on, you got the top half of the fan shroud, the computer, and then all this garbage we took out in part one. Battery tray, washer bottles loose. Actually, before you do all that, put the radiator support back across. You've got those 10 millimeters underneath here. You can see where those are, and you need to get them from the bottom. So after you get all this in, radiator support first, top half of the fan shroud, air box, battery, all that garbage. Alright, one more tip for you. If you're trying to put these bolts back in behind the hood latch here, and you got big fingers or whatever and you're struggling, take your bolt and a paper towel, put it between your socket, stuff the bolt in the socket, drop it in your engine bay so you never find it again. May want to double up the paper towel. Just cover in the socket. Shove the bolt in there. Rip off the extra paper towel. There you go. It's not going anywhere. You can leave it just like that. Stick it through the back here. Well, the fan shroud's on, I can't do it. But stick it through the back, start screwing it in, and then when it's tight, you can just pull the ratchet off. Get the paper towel off. You're good to go. Alright, once you start it up for the first time after you've done this, just let it sit in each gear for a few seconds. Try to work a little bit of that air out. And then once you're done doing this, just let the truck warm up. Check the trans fluid while it's warm. You'll get a better reading than cold. Top it up if you need to. Well, you'll definitely need to if you did this. Shouldn't take a whole lot, but you'll need to add some. And then keep an eye on the coolant. Top it up once the truck's warm. We're not quite there yet. Give it a few more minutes. Top everything up and you should be good to go, as long as you don't have any leaks. After you got the radiator installed, it's a good idea to replace the transmission filter. You don't have to drop the pan. There's one in there, but these Allisons have a spin on that you can just pop off like an oil filter. Get that replaced. You should be doing that anyway, every other oil change or whatever you want to do. Let me get under the truck. I'll show you where it is if you don't know already. Alright, up under the truck, right behind the oil pan, right by the oil drain bolt, is that spin on filter right at the front of the trans, in front of the trans pan. Couldn't be easier to get in there and replace. Alright, it's the next day. We're done with the radiator and the LB7. I've driven it about 30 miles or so. just babying it, working some of the air out of the system there, topped it up a couple times. Back to shifting smoothly, no more fluid aeration. So if you're going to do this, just put a GM or something nice in it, you know, cold case, whatever. The parts store radiator, maybe you'll get lucky, maybe you won't. You'll have to do it twice like I did. This transmission is a stage 1, I guess you'd call it. It's built to hold up to 600 or 700 horsepower. All the Allisons are pretty finicky with air bubbles, things like that. They don't like it. If it's built, it's even more of an issue. So you got the hash marks on the dipstick for the hot fill line. Even when I was at the bottom of the hash marks, we were still having some issues. So don't overfill it, obviously, but try to get it right up towards the top of those hash marks. Now that we're pretty close to the top, it's back to shifting perfectly. No issues. So stay tuned for some more Duramax videos. We got a 7.3 IDI turbo we're going to rip out, completely tear down and rebuild. I got some Power Stroke videos coming. If anybody is interested in an E46 resurrection, let us know. We'll do some videos on that. So like, comment, subscribe. You got questions, drop them in the comments. If you want to tell me I'm an idiot, drop it in the comments. It's all the same to me. So stay tuned for those videos.